name is Aric with Solaris Studios, and I'm a professional photographer. I specialize in business headshots. This is unscripted. I'm going to take you through this headshot real quick. This is straight out of camera. No alterations have been done to this. This background that you're seeing here, that's not a roll of paper. That's my wall in my studio, which I've painted gray. So it's one less thing I've got to do before somebody comes into the studio. The retouching I do want, this image is shot a little bit dark, and I like to do the retouching on the darker image. It allows me to see more of the detail of what I'm getting into. During our initial discussion, when this person came into the studio, he informed me that he had been working through the night up till 2 o'clock in the morning and didn't get to bed till probably 3 or 4. And his eyes were red. So I removed the vessels and took the red out, except for in the corners. My main light is coming from above, landing on the eye above the pupil, and then striking the iris. Right? But I redrew that to give it a little more dimensionality, to give it more of a 3-dimensional feel, kind of like a marble, right? And you can see I've softened under the eyes. I didn't do it drastically, just ever so slightly. There's a number of marks that are still left on the face, and I like to leave some of those marks. I mean, the goal here is to start with a strong image and then improve that image. And when I'm done, it should still look like the subject, and nobody should know I've been in there doing anything. So I leave some for authenticity's sake, right? And when my clients are here in the studio and we've selected the best image, I actually have them sit with me and watch the retouching. And my client asked me to leave this scar above his eye. That's part of who he is. He wanted it left in, so it got left in. And that's one less phone call he's got to make saying, hey, why didn't you address this issue? Or you over-retouched this issue. So once the retouching is done, I can do a bit of color balancing to give it a little bit more pop and bring it to life. This cheek is being left a little bright for a black and white conversion, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. From this point, I then do something called masking, where I'm selecting the subject, then selecting the inverse and deleting the inverse, essentially. And that leaves me all sorts of space to play with different backgrounds. And this isn't a computer-generated background. This is just a photograph of my gray wall again, using my light and a gel attached to it, a colored gel, which allows for all sorts of possibilities. And then each of these colors can be adjusted in computer. But anything to have somebody look at the image a second longer. Wow, look at that green. That's another second somebody looked at my image. That's another second I was able to create association for my clients, right? Even with a black and white image, you look at a black and white image and it takes a second to recognize that an image is black and white. And that extra second is 1 extra second of viewing time for my clients, which is really what I'm delivering, right? The power of association. This is one of my favorite backgrounds, and it's a little complex. It has an acronym, DLDL. And DLDL stands for dark, light, dark, light. See how this light exists on this image, right? There's a pattern there. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it's there. And I really, really like it. From there, we can take the image and convert it into a black and white. Right now you can see why I've got this brighter cheek here. It really gives a little more oomph to it. And it's not a pure black and white. I add a little bit of warmth to it. I don't know if your screen is going to translate that the same as my color balance monitor is going to. But let me show you another thing we can do with this. One of the last things I like to do. So this is the full frame version, right? Now fully retouched, color balance. There's a few more small things I would do here. But let's now crop this image really for a different level of impact. And we're using a cropping tool that utilizes something called the golden spiral, which I love, right? And it is personal preference, but this is also, I mean, cropping is its own art. All right, so now we have a completely different feeling image. And now that we've done this, this bottom right-hand corner feels a little dark, doesn't it? So let's take that and gradation default, let's make it about 60. And just to darken that bottom up a little bit. Yeah. And because everything's done in layers, all my previous adjustments come along for the ride with the new cropping. So I try to deliver as much versatility as I can to my clients. Anything to get their image looked at a little bit longer, right? And then easily converted into a square for LinkedIn, right? A really strong LinkedIn image. And again, all these different colors come as well. So whatever kind of croppings we need to do. That's a business headshot from Solaris Studios. Again, my name is Aric with Solaris Studios. I'm a professional photographer and I specialize in business headshots. Thank you so very much. Keep safe.